what's up guys, Eating Dragon here, and I welcome you guys to my Payday 2 Armory. This time, I'll be looking over the starting pistol that everyone starts with in Payday 2 just before you get to using the other toys. And of course, that is the Chimano 88, which is essentially a Glock 17, a third generation Glock 17. So, I also included Kimbo versions. So here's the, well, actually the stats for the Glock 17. So it has a magazine of 17, total of ammo of 153, rate of fire of 480 RPM, damage of 35 or 36.8 with the Fast and Furious skill, 52 accuracy, 60 stability, concealment of 30, which is basically the highest, threat of 8, and reload time of 2.1 seconds. Now, of course, you can, increase more lethality with this pistols, mainly in the fugitive skill in the gunslinger subtree, which increase every skill about the pistol. So for the equilibrium, you can able to pull your pistols much more faster, and you can get 8 more accuracy with the pistol. Gun nut will essentially give you increase your magazine size by 5, and of course increase rate of fire, and of course also skill with akimbo weapons, reduce the penalty and give you a little more ammo. Desperado, which usually gives you more pistol hits, and you're able to reload faster, do a little bit more damage, and of course able to get every hit pistol you get a damage boost. Of course, the different stats of the pistol may differ, and the akimbo versions are essentially quite the same. It's, of course, the magazine is doubled. Well, since you're carrying 2 of them, that's 34. Total ammo is 170. Damage is the same. Accuracy is the same. Stability has been lowered down because, for some reason, they decided to think they should lower it since you're holding 2 guns, which is kind of ridiculous. So, of course, I won't go through the whole details of the 2 Kimbo pistols since they're essentially the same gun model. So I'll look at the solo version instead. So actually, and of course, the Glock 17 may not be more recognizable compared to its, its older brother, the Glock 18. Alright, so let's actually look at this gun. So of course we can see it's, of course we have the little side part that you can able to mount. There's a little bit of groove each side of the pistol to mount able to mount a rail underneath the pistol for a gadget like a laser sight and a flashlight. Of course, there's look like a very small magazine release when you press the button. It looks pretty small, which looks weird. And there seem to be, I never really much know about the middle trigger and the trigger. I think that's just there for maybe a safety feature. I really don't think so. I don't think that there's a safety mode on this. It doesn't look like it, so I don't know if this helps. But other than that, you can see where the pistol grip has a little bit groove to fit where your fingers are. And as we take over the right side, there's a number 14 on there. And of course, during where the bolt is with the chamber, it should say, oh, there you go. It says 9XR1197, which I'm not sure what it means, but I presume it shoots the 9mm Palbone round, which it's supposed to. As the iron sights are very squared iron sights, very squared indeed. So let's look at the attachment that you can put on this, as well as the gimbal versions. So of course you can pick on any barrel extension you want, either suppressors, compensators, any type of boost, any type of gadget. So if you put on the tactical pistol light, this is probably the most recognizable pistol. You'll probably see the cops carry, or even the guards carry, and even the bikers. They will use something like this. It's pretty much easy to recognize. It's really hard to even miss it. Of course, we got two different unique grips to it. We got a laser grip, which increases the accuracy at a cost of concealment, which is really nice to have, especially if you want to increase that accuracy. So you can see the laser is right here, and it says laser grip, and of course this weapon is made in Austria. And we have the Platypus Grip, which, funny enough, it does not have the ergo grip like the other Glock series has, so this is the only two it has. So of course this one increased stability, but of course lower concealment. And then of course it didn't have extended mags. It was just a Glock 18, and then the other few pistol had it. Even a Glock 22, but then a Glock 26 doesn't have it. But now they give it to both of those pistols, and now including the Glock 18, or Glock 17. And it's really nice, and you can also put a sight. Well, that's well, about it. Now I'm just test out these bad boys out. I'll see you at the firing range. Hey, welcome back. I just read a little bit more of the wiki about the number 14 on the side of the gun, and it says that this was possibly stolen from a FBI evidence room. So that's actually quite, well, a miracle that they stole this piece of gun. I mean, we've probably seen this pistol. We even stole these type of pistols in Murky Station, which are essentially the same guns. Alright, well, enough talking. Let's actually load this thing up and get to some shooting. Going loud. It's a pretty, well, solid. I mean, the accuracy is still probably similar like the M-Car, but it's just, of course, when I do try and shoot a little bit more, it just goes over the place. And the problem I have here, when it comes to aiming, you may notice when I aim, it's very blurry. My vision is blurry, and I can see a lot of people may not like these type of sights. I say these sights could be good. I say they're like more better at the whole white. It probably doesn't help that the rear sight that's kind of in a U shape at the rear is very blurry, so you can't really see well. And it also did to depend on the different lighting. Like right here, if I aim, like in the sky for example, you probably don't even, you can see a little bit of white, but you will never notice it until the sun hits it, and then you start to see the white. So if I try to stay in the shadow, I mean, you can probably still see it a bit, and if I get closer, you can probably see it's not even blurry anymore, and it makes it even better. But of course, at a much longer range, it's much more harder, so until you get close, you can see it's pretty bad with them. And I don't think there's even an option to turn off the motion blur, but I'm keeping it up like this, so it makes it similar. And I also do apologize that I did not talk about a fully decked out pistols I have for each. Mainly because, well, I barely use those pistols, and, well, how often do people gonna run these handguns, as they're mostly get outclassed by a few other pistols. Alright, now, of course, I'm gonna do the same thing. I try and spam more rounds than I can, but this time I won't control the recoil. For a pistol that shoots around, what, 840 RPM, doesn't seem to be quite bad. Now, of course, you can improve it with the skill to increase this rate of fire, which is 100%, so you doubled up that rate of fire. Alright, now I'll try to use this while controlling the recoil. Well, of course, it makes it a little bit harder to do with a single shot, since it's not fully automatic like its Glock 18 counterpart. But of course, I aim it so low, which is pretty bad. But it's still a pistol. Of course, I expect it from a weak sauce. Well, now you see me with one Glock 17. Now you're gonna see me with two Glock 17s. Wouldn't that make it a Glock 34? Oh well, let's just get these loaded up. You can able to see the caliber, the actual cartridge inside before the player cocks a hammer. And I know there's a lack of hammer on these handguns, well, the Glock series, which is quite unusual. Alright, I'll just do some. So, of course, the recoil is definitely vertical and goes up, since you don't really have much stability control compared to solo versions, and since you are aiming with these, you don't know where you're going to aim unless you have, of course, a laser sight, which, of course, you should have it for a akimbo, for any akimbo weapons. Also, to note that when you fire a akimbo weapon, you actually fire both, and not one from each barrel, which I wish they could have the options to do that, to switch from shooting two akimbo weapons, so you know where you aim. That should be the button that you fire from the left side. And of course, if you fire normal with the R2 button or the fire button, should be fire the pistol on the right hand. Alright, test 2 would be just, I'll show you the recoil about actually trying to control it. Alright, going on. Pretty, not bad. I mean, it's actually similar to my, well, the first test, but, it's not like the assault rifle where it just hits up to this, graffiti, the pink graffiti. So it actually hits pretty well. And stays there, despite, you know, no skills, no pistol skills. It's actually pretty damn good. Alright, now I'll try to control it. The recoil. Of course, this may not look very impressive, but you have to bear in mind that I'm basically using a weapon with no stats increase of its accuracy and stability. It's basically what you get with this gun. Also, for a quick notice, this is like, unfortunately they fixed this on PC, but not on console. I'll show you why. Let me just empty this clip out. Alright. Now, normally when you shoot the last round in a handgun, the slide pulls back. That's actually the case on PC, but never on console, and I don't think there was actually a fix to it. I think it was just a minor fix, but if you once you look at the empty reload, you will see the slide magically reopen to the back of the gun, and of course you'll have the character, you know, flip the little hammer or flip the slide switch to pull forward. And you can see even the barrel, little shiny barrel too, probably a chrome barrel. Well, that's it for the two little naked pistols. I'll bring out my two fully decked out pistols, which I will have only one solo one for loud and two akimbo pistols, for one for armor and one for stealth. I'll see you in a minute. Alright, I'm back with my two fully decked out Glock 17. So we have, of course, the extended mags, the laser grip, the pistol sight, a flash hider, and of course a sight, which is definitely a lot better with the iron sights. All right, let's actually load this in, and ready to go loud. Yeah, you can see one spot right here. You don't even see it when I aim here because, well, it's actually blocked by the gun. I feel like the guns feel similar compared to the base version, but I just don't see any improvement. So here we go. Now I'm gonna try this, trying to fire as fast as I can without controlling the recoil. Okay, I got a much better, tighter grouping here, and you can see most of my bullets don't even land where my sight is, but it's very nice for this range. I'm pretty sure if I would have done it at long range, which, if you want me to see me try and fire it at a longer range, I will do it. Alright, so now here's me trying to control it. Like, same result. It's really hard to control a recoil that is actually basically not even full auto. It's just so hard to do after all because it recenters so quickly. So that's it for the result. Well, now I'm gonna go to here, this spot, and then move a bit back and show you accuracy is a huge factor when it comes to using pistols. And the same thing results, that's test 2. I'm gonna try and fire this thing as fast as I can without controlling the recoil. Now, of course, the grouping is much more worse and is wider, and even the bullet made a dent on the top left. So you can see it's pretty god-awful for at long range. And that's why having a lot of accuracy is very important for these pistols. If you don't have it, they're basically worthless. Alright, now it's time for my fully decked out pistols, which are essentially the same attachments I have, except you can't put on the sight. But luckily, the laser sights will help me to hit my targets. Alright, going loud again. Pretty unique, a little bit of recoil power. It does shoot up and then somehow just ran a little bit turn, did like a U-turn and then come back here. It's almost like the shape of the turret you robbed from the train heist. So wow, I actually did a fine art. I think Blood will be proud of me. Anywho, okay, now I'm gonna try to do the same thing, but this time, of course, same. Alright, doing the same thing without controlling the recoil. Going hot. Alright, I mean, it hits a bit up and it go over to place, but not really like a large group or even a tight group. But it seems I did like a number 3 shape, which, well, 3 is my favorite number. Alright, now I'll try to control the recoil as best I can, and it should be interesting since I'm using 2 guns as opposed to 1. Well, out of ammo. Well, that's basically it. I try to control as much as I can. It's almost touch to the ground, so it's really definitely challenging to do with the pistols. Since I essentially don't have any skills, which of course when you have skills you could probably do, it would be definitely an improvement. Well, that's enough firing. Well, I did have another cable version of the silencer ones, but I'm not going to show it because I don't think it's really worth it to be needed. So, well, time for the final conclusion. Overall, as terms of a starting weapon, it's not bad, but definitely, I still wouldn't call it the worst weapon in Payday 2. It's not, it shouldn't take that crown, considering this is a starting pistol. And unlike the, well, previous weapon I did, which is the MCAR, where it's actually viable on DSOD, the Glock 17 is not. I don't know what to say. It's just get outgunned by every pistol it offered, including the older brother, the Glock 18. It beats out by the revolvers, even the other high damage pistols like the Desert Eagle and the Jericho pistol. Even the 5.7 is more unique, but because you can pierce through walls, shields, and body armor. I just don't think it has a right place. And I don't think they should even get a buff, considering it's supposed to be the weakest weapon. So if we compare it to the other pistols, well, let's see the stats. In terms of a lot of weapons have more unique attachments, and they're way better. I mean, each of these pistols has their own roles and serve their own purpose. I don't see any uniqueness to the Glock 17 as opposed to the other pistols. I mean, some may be reskinned from the others, but some at least are more different in terms of not only in terms of the stats and the extra unique, quirks they have. Like the Glock 18 being fully auto and the 5.7 can pierce through most objects. And the Mauser can be like a DMR kit equipped. And the revolvers are high damage in general. Hell, even this one, by the base, is even better. This Colt Defender pistol is even better. I mean, they have a much more better accuracy compared to the other weapons. This one, there's no uniqueness to it. The only uniqueness I see it, you start with it by default. So, if I had to say a little bit more about the gun, I would probably just rate it like I'm probably gonna give it a 2 out of 10, just because it serves its purpose of helping you to get a little bit more money, more cash, and, well, I say it's probably the most deadliest weapon to use on normal difficulty, as any normal beginners that play Payday 2 start will know what I'm saying. Well, thank you for watching, everyone. Until next time, I'm moving on to a SMG. Until then, farewell, and have a wonderful day, everyone.